Live. Live. Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. Happy Saturday. I started 2 minutes early, giving myself time to get together. Today we're going to be working on an art journal page in the chipboard journal. And we're also going to be demoing the new stencils that I added to the store. These stencils are already added. I was doing some demoing with them yesterday to see how the patterns came out before I added them to the store. So everything's already been added to the store. So we'll begin in 2 minutes, everybody. 2 minutes. If you're watching this after the live, then you can go ahead and fast forward to I start kind of demoing everything. Right now, I'm just getting my stuff together, getting all my materials ready. And we have a few things that we're going to be playing with, some acrylics. I got some waxes. We're also going to be playing a little bit more with the Finnabair Alchemy waxes. I've got some chalkboard paints, which I actually can go prepping my page and do that now while I wait. Oh, it's 10 o'clock. While I wait for everybody to kind of start coming on in. All right, all right, all right. So I pulled out one sentiment from the Prima collection, and this says you, me, and the sea. So we're gonna be doing something sea themed today. I also pulled out some pages from this Prima paper. No, is it a Prima paper? Yeah, it is. And it's called Nature Garden. It's a really pretty paper. It's got a lot of pretty designs on it and patterns. It's an older paper, but I hardly use it. But I do love the patterns. So we're going to be working on that. Good morning, good morning, good morning, Ada. How are you doing, love? I hope you've been doing a lot of crafting. So I'm going to go ahead and pull out my page. You hear Venus? You guys hear Venus? She must be arguing with my daughter. I'm telling you that she's developing such an attitude, this little diva. Oh my goodness, she is so spoiled. She's getting such an attitude. She had a whole conversation with me yesterday, howling at me the whole time. It was hilarious because she was complaining because somebody was at the door and I wouldn't let her see who was at the door. And she wanted to see so bad that once I closed the door and I told her, I'm like, you can't be doing that. You're so rude. She was like, roo, 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 roo. I was cracking up. Oh my God, it was so hilarious. Oh, yay. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So I pulled out my answer. That's what we're going to be working on today. Oh, let me just show you real quickly before I show you the other, how the final page came out, the very first chipboard journal page that I worked on in this journal. So everything, basically, as you guys can see, once you create on your page and it's dry and you put your book away, everything's going to go back to normal, like any kind of bending that occurs from the paper being wet. Once the paper dries, it kind of solidifies itself and it does get pretty straight and definitely more durable than it was before. And so I went back into this and I did go and add some more of the inks. I tried to define more of the tree area. I did go back in and add a few more of the rings, and I added some more of the hearts and kind of just painted them in a little bit more. But this is how the final page kind of came out, and I think it came out pretty cool overall. Nice way for me to kind of utilize the stencils and create a tree out of something that wasn't made to be a tree. So I thought that was pretty awesome. So here it is. Put this back in there. And that's what I like about this, the fact that I can actually take my pages out, honestly. That to me is like the biggest perk, because I can take my paper out and work with it and not worry about it, and just kind of like let it go. Also, I have this seed stamp. I'm not sure how many pieces of it I'm going to use, but I know I'm going to use some of it. And so, you guys, let's get to what we are all here to see, which is the June release for the stencils for happydaycrafts.com. And I've come up with a few of them, mostly for background building and creating those types of effects on your projects. So the first on the top, we have the bubbles. You guys kind of saw this um, when Sasson and I did the jelly printing play session, which is more what we did. We did more playing than learning, honestly. But it was super fun. Anytime that I get to craft with hubby, it's an awesome, awesome time. So we had a lot of fun. If you haven't checked that video out, make sure that you do. And if you haven't checked out his channel, Sasson's Vintage World, make sure that you do that as well. In that chat, in that video, or the links and everything is gonna be in there for you to go and check it out. But I have this, and I can also shrink this down a little bit, not too much, because I did notice that the more that I shrink it, since I have a lot of tiny little bubbles here. Let me see. I'm gonna use my drawing tablet to kind of use it like a background. Yeah, that works. Since I have a lot of teeny tiny little bubbles in this design, the smaller I make it, those little bubbles become very, very frail, and they don't cut out all the way right. So I can shrink this down a little bit for some of you guys that do like the smaller stencils, but you know, just keep that in mind. And at the end of the day, you can use any part of this, so the size is not really something that should be too much of an issue, even though it's a little bit on the larger scale, because you can use any part of the stencil to create your patterns. So this, I believe, is like 7 by 9, give or take, roughly. And then this is the pattern that you get if you know you do the whole thing. And I called this one, I believe I called it foaming bubbles. Yes, foaming bubbles, because that's what it kind of reminds me of, like, you know, when you make the hot tub and you fill it up with bubbles. That's kind of like what it reminded me of, like all the big bubbles, the small bubbles. Good morning, good morning, good morning, Tanya. Thanks so much for joining me. So that's what this one creates. I absolutely, you guys, and I'm gonna give a huge thank you to Ada for this. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. She's the one that asked me to do the little rings. And so once I started working on these shapes for her, like my mind just started clicking on a whole nother level. And this is the result of all those buttons clicking. This is why I say I love it when you guys give me suggestions, because at the end of the day, you know, we all help each other out somehow, some way. Hello, Granny 420. Good morning, good morning, good morning. No, the bubble rings is this. These are the rings. The chipboard pieces are the rings. So these are the rings. And this is one of the shapes that I was making for Ada. And you can do so many things with these rings. I gotta get used to calling them rings because I call them O's. With the O's, you can do so much with the O's. But they're rings. That's what they're called in the store. And the link is in the description area down below. If you want to see all of the things that I've added besides the stencils, if you want to see everything that was put into the store for the month of June, just, you know, when you do the sorting, just put latest and it'll give it to you. So that's that one. I gotta have my little phone here so that I know the names of stuff. Okay, this one is Triumphant Pyramid. This one is the Triumphant Pyramid, and we have a whole bunch of pyramids going on here, like kind of stacked, but all a little bit different. And this is one of the patterns that you can create when you start kind of like layering them in certain kind of ways and like putting them over each other. You can create a really cool pattern, but definitely you can totally see like the pyramids and stuff like that. So we're going to be actually working with all of them. I'm going to try to include them all in today's art journal page, which is going to be a little bit of a challenge because they don't necessarily fall into the theme of what I'm going to do, but it's all about the texture. Yes, happydaycrafts.com. If you see it, it's the hashtag in blue right there on the title. All you got to do is add .com at the end, and that's the store. I also have a link right at the beginning of the description. So if you open up that little box where it describes everything that's going on in today's video, you'll see the link to the store there as well. But it's super cool. Let me show you guys really quickly. Let me grab an ink and just kind of show you what it looks like by itself so that you guys can kind of see. And I do have my coffee because it's early morning in New York. Thank you, Ada. It's early morning in New York. So this is basically what you're going to get as far as a solid pattern. You know, what this kind of looks like on its own. And I was very much into like all of these kind of shapes. Again, because I've been working on a lot of like basic shapes and stuff like that. But you know, I can't just leave stuff basic, right, you guys? You know, with me, it's got to go a little bit extra mile. So that's kind of what you get. And I think it looks pretty cool. And I did most of them besides the bubble and one more. They're all 6x6. So I thought that they would be, you know, super small and easy to like play around with and kind of like, you know, make tile work and just build up layers and stuff like that. So that's kind of what that looks like. Yes, I try to be, you know, as original as I possibly can, even though we do have a lot of, you know, common shapes and things like that. I did try to keep it somewhat original. This one is called Organic One. And they're a little, you know, inked up because I was doing some demoing with them. And this is what this one kind of looks like. And there's Organic 1 and Organic 2. And I'm trying to do, you know, like different things that you don't really see or find everywhere. That way we have a good variety amongst all of us, right? There's lots of shops, lots of awesome designers, lots of awesome crafty things to buy. But because we're all so different, then you don't have to, you know, feel guilty. You can buy this and buy that. All right, so, and I think that this looks super cool, especially if you start like kind of like repeating the pattern, like if you just do the center only without the edges. Like there's a lot of ways that you can kind of use that. If you don't want to use the center and you just want some of these grids right here, you can craft this little box and just do something like that. So there's many ways that you can kind of utilize them. Oh, you guys, you know I had to do this. I had to. Thank you, Tanya. I had to. I needed to create a stencil that was like cracked glass or like kind of like broken china when it falls on the floor. Ada. So this one is, I call it all cracked up. So this is what this kind of looks like. And you know we needed something like this, right? I needed something like this. I personally needed something like this. So I did a little bit of playing with this one. And I used some sprays and some inks and stuff like that. And I love the fact that you can see, you know, all the breaking in the line. Love it. So if you basically color your paper one color and then you lay your stencil over it, then all those white lines are going to be the paper that you color your the color that you color your paper. And then once you do your blending, your inking, your you know, gessoing or modeling paste, whatever you're going to use on top, then you're going to, all those cracks are going to show in the color that you paint, you know, first. So just be mindful of that. So we have the all cracked up. Again, this is all like a 6x6 series. I'm going to try to add more 6x6 stencils whenever I can. And I have something new that I'm going to be trying out. It's a new blade that I'm going to be trying out. Hopefully it works really well. And if it works really well, then I can get even more intricate, which is what I'm hoping for. So I'll keep you guys updated on that. This one's called Kaleidoscope. And this one was actually named by my son-in-law because when I was showing them the, you know, the designs that I came out, once I cut them out, he was like, oh, that's so cool. It looks just like a kaleidoscope. I said, thank you for the name. So it's called Kaleidoscope. And this is basically what it looks like. And Let me know if you guys agree, if it does look like a kaleidoscope. To me, it looked like jellyfishes, like jellyfishes coming to meet like towards the center, but my mind is a little different. But I kind of see like jellyfishes, like, you know, when they're kind of like swimming, they're trying to get the bait. So like they're all going towards the same spot. But he said it's a kaleidoscope. So I was like, okay, I'll take that. And this is a larger form of the stencil because originally I had made them larger, but this is a larger form and this is the pattern that you're gonna get. He's right. Yeah. And this is the pattern that you're gonna get. And again, you know, I like these because you can kind of like build up on it, so you can use a whole you can layer them up a whole bunch and use it like that. But it comes in a 6x6 size. Although if you do want it larger, now that you see it and you want it larger, you just gotta let me know, Carmen, give me the full size. But in the store, it's advertised as 6x6. Okay. Yes, my stencil collection is growing. It's growing for sure, for sure. Um, so that's kaleidoscope. Let's put that to the side. This one, I did go back into it and fix it, but this is basically the pattern that you're gonna receive. I just thickened up the lines on some of the areas that I felt were maybe a little bit weak, because, you know, if I feel like it'll break on me, I'm worried it's gonna break on you. So I make sure that I reinforce everything and then I go back in and fix whatever has to be fixed. And I thought that this was super cool, especially for like all my people that do like junk journaling and stuff like that, and like to get like vintagey type of, you know, patterns and stuff like that. This to me looks super vintagey, the way that it is, and I call this Gridlock. Is that what yeah, Gridlock is what I call this one. And it kind of reminds me of like a warehouse, or like where they store freight, or like an aerial view of like one of those transport areas where they have like all of those containers stacked up. Like that's kind of like what it reminded me of. So either that or like stairs, or like the old DOS games, you know. I know I'm like dating the hell out of myself, but like those really old kind of games where it's like, you know, you jump here and then you jump here, you jump there. So that's kind of like where my mind was at with this one to a certain extent. So this one's called Gridlock, again in a 6x6. And like I said, I did thicken up some of these lines. Some of these lines are going to be a little bit thicker when you do get it, but the pattern itself is persistent. Yes, it's amazing. You're going to have so much fun. Creativity has no bounds, and there's no wrong way to do it. Okay? There is literally no wrong way to do it. So, you guys, let's meet Sal. Sal the octopus. And his name is Sal because está salado and he lives in the salty water. So, this is Sal the octopus. And yes, you guys, this is a stencil template. And this is basically what I did. I used the bubble stencil, the foaming bubbles. I gotta get used to calling it foaming bubbles. I used foaming bubbles all around the edges, and then I basically laid them in. Where are you, Sal? Where did you go? And that's basically what I'm trying to do right now, is add at least one. Did I put them under? Yeah, put them under. I'm trying to add at least 1 to 2 characters per release. As I start building, I know that at the beginning I released a whole bunch of characters because obviously, you know, I'm building the store, I'm starting the store. And so I added a whole bunch of characters, but I don't want to overwhelm myself or overwhelm the collection by oversaturating it with too much stuff, right? So when it comes to characters, I'm going to just add a few here and there and, you know, grow the collections that way. But you're definitely going to get a lot of other fun stuff to kind of play and build with. And so, yes. So this is what we have. We have Sal. Isn't he awesome? And he's rather large. And I think I can scale him down just a little bit more. So if you want him smaller, I can probably shrink him just a little bit more. I would have to test it because I didn't test the smaller version, but I have to test it anyway. So if it's something that you're interested in a smaller size, you just gotta let me know. Because this one is a little bit on the wider size. This one's about, let's see, almost 9 inches. Almost 9 inches. In height, it's about almost 6. So it's like a 9x6 almost. And he's a little bit weird. because you know you can't make him look like every other octopus. So he's a little bit awkward, but I think he's amazing, and it gives you so much opportunity to do so much with like all these empty spaces here, because like he can be like one of those fluorescent octopuses, or he can be like one of the octopuses or octopi, whatever. He could be like one of those that has like the fluorescent colors and like all kinds of stuff, and that's kind of what I'm gonna try to do today, is to make his area here for his head kind of like stand out, and I'm gonna see how I'm gonna do that. I'm not really quite sure. So that's what that is what is on the agenda today. So I believe that that's it for the release. So we have sound, we have foam and bubbles, we have the gridlock, we have the kaleidoscope, all cracked up, organic 2. I'm missing one. I'm missing an organic. Where's the other organic at? I'm missing one, guys. I am missing one. Yep, I sure am. Give me a second. I have to find it. I know it's somewhere in between all these papers. We have the pyramid, and we're missing one organic. So let me find that real quick, because I'm like, wait a minute. Here it is. And this is organic 2. So let me move all of these out of the way. This one's organic 2. Is it organic 2 or organic 1? Yeah, this is organic 2. And this one kind of looks like that. And let me just see if I can find the back of a paper to demo it on real quick. And basically with this, again, I focus a lot more on textures for background, for the creation of backgrounds and stuff like that, more so than everything else for this one. Next month, I plan on focusing a lot on like florals and trees and branches and vines and stuff like that. I'm going more naturey on the next one. When it comes to the stencils, that is. And again, I think that these organics are really, really cool because they kind of look like, from an area point of view, like if you're looking at like the little towns and the little cross streets, like that's what I see when I see these. So I think again that they will be really, really awesome for like people that work on like junk journals and stuff like that, or like people that like to make their own ephemeras and they like to create like different backgrounds for their ephemeras. I think that these stencils will look really, really awesome in some of those processes. So without further ado, let's get the doing. So let me go ahead and bring down all of these babies. All of my babies, gotta bring down all of the babies. And let's go ahead and get our page ready to go. And like I said, we're gonna be working in our chipboard journals. These chipboard journals as well are available at happydaycrafts.com. If you haven't seen it, this is how they look, and you basically decorate it yourself. Unless you want one that's pre-decorated, then you just have to let me know and we can work that out. If you want to see this video is also available. I decorated this live. Okay. And these are full lengths, 12 by 6, I guess, once you fold everything close. So we've got some paper. We're going to be doing a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And to begin, I think what I'm going to start by doing is kind of gessoing, and I say that in quotations because all I'm going to be using is some chalkboard paint today to kind of get my surface ready and primed. And I'm going to use this like a makeshift gesso. Thank you, thank you. It was lots of fun to create, that's for sure. So we're going to go ahead and start with our blue. And I'm just going to coat this. And I think it's a little dark, so I'm going to add some black. I mean, it's a little light, so I'm going to add some black to kind of darken it a little bit. Hopefully it lands where I made the hole. There we go. Just a little bit. Chalk paint dries really, really fast, so I gotta work super quick. And I'm very intuitive with how I create, although I have an idea. I don't have a full program yet. I just have an idea. So we'll see kind of how this is gonna go. And things get really ugly really fast, and then they get nice. So just hang around. Just hang around for a bit. You might be like, oh, okay. At the beginning, you're gonna be like, no, what is this woman doing? But somehow it all seems to work out. At least that's been my experience. And I don't care so much about how the color comes out at the end. Well, on the bottom, because I'm gonna be doing so much more to this, it's not even funny. And the chalkboard paint that I'm using is from Dollar General, you guys. This is Crafter's Closet as a chalkboard paint that I'm using. Just because I use so much of it, I try to keep it as cheap as possible whenever possible. And yes, I am messy, but it cleans easy, so I don't worry too much about it. Yes, that is the amazingness of art. Because as long as you love it, that's enough. It's supposed to bring you joy. And if it brings somebody else joy, that's a bonus. But it's supposed to bring you joy. So as long as you're happy when you're creating it, and you're happy after you create it, or even if you wasn't happy when you started, but you end up happy after, and that's a job well done if you ask me. And we're going to be doing some stamping, and we're going to be doing some collaging, and we're going to be doing a little bit of everything. We're also going to be adding some texture with some paste. And let me get my little tool. This dries up really, really quickly because it's chalk paint. If the 8-ball and out like that annoys you, just take the corners down while you're working on the page. I recommend washi tape so it doesn't destroy your paper. Don't duct tape it because you won't be able to remove it. Okay. So now that I've got a little bit of this going on, I'm going to go ahead and do some light stamping here and there and start creating this whole little Mod Podge of whatever it is that I'm going to be doing. I'll go ahead and do that. And let me grab myself some ink. Let's see if this has any juice in it. I don't stamp as often as I should. This feels dry and looks dry, so it might just be dry. Well, let's go in with some purple then. Let's add some purple in here. I know some of my friends in here like purple. And it's dark, so that'll work. And we're just gonna do some stamping here and there. Just a little bit of stamping here and there, just to add some texture to the page. That's about good for me right now. Let's go ahead and add maybe some of this pattern in here. Oh, that's awesome. Well, I'm glad you caught me as well. I usually go live during the morning. Usually around 10 o'clock is my go-to time. Yes, Ada, messiness is allowed and I got wipes. So I'm ready. I am ready, my friends. I am ready. So we're just gonna go ahead and kind of I don't know, see what we do here. See what we do here. Do, 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 do. Let's go ahead and get this out. I told Sasson this morning, I was like, babe, I'm not doing anything in the house tomorrow. I'm going live. So I made sure I did everything yesterday so that I didn't have anything to do today. Because I cannot function, you guys, when everything else is crazy. So I need to make sure all of that stuff is good before I proceed with my day. Otherwise, I can't focus thinking about the 101 things that I still gotta do. I don't know if that happens to any of you guys, but I'm OCD like that. I can't. It drives me crazy. I went on strike once and did nothing but art for like a whole week. Had my kids going crazy. I'm like, appreciate it. Hello. Because I have no problems with art all day. All day, I tell you, all day. So let's go ahead and glue that in. And I have a few more that I'm gonna do. And I'm using Mod Podge. If you're wondering what kind of glue I'm using, it's Mod Podge by Deco Art. Let's see, I was gonna put that there. I think I'm gonna put it here instead. And there's still a lot more layers to go. So this paper you might see, you might not see. Everything that you add on backgrounds, you know that you're risking not being able to ever see it again. Especially if you're gonna be adding a whole bunch of layers like I am. Let's see. There's a good chance that you won't see nothing. I've done backgrounds where I lose everything. And everybody in the chat is like, Carmen, what happened to the whole background? Like, yeah, it went bye-bye. It happens. Oops. It happens. I don't know about that there. Oops. Stay, my friend. Stay where I need you to stay. This is a little baby wipe. May I share? Oh, please do. I would love it if you would share. It's always a good thing. It's always a good thing. Okay, let's add more. Let's add some here in the bottom. And I want to create kind of like, I want it to kind of look like a rock down here somewhere. So I'm going to do that and give the paper shape so that I can start kind of building that area there. And I'm going to do that. And when you're working with these journals, try to stay away from the fold as much as you can. When you're like collaging paper on it, try not to collage any paper on the actual fold itself because that adds more strain to that center. And just from closing and opening with time, you might actually end up damaging your page. So I do not recommend that you do that. But it's your journal, do as you wish. Hello, Cindy. How are you, love? Everything's been added to the store. Everything that I'm using today has been added already to the store. I did it yesterday. I tried to you know, do it the right way this time. Try to do it the right way. I think I like that there. Maybe this little bit right there. This is just a little bit. Let's go ahead. I also added the chipboard journal refills, you guys. So I had questions about that. I did go ahead and add those in yesterday as well. I try to do some catching up. I've been stuck in the world of Linux for the past, I would say, week and a half between reading, coding, repairing, and then re-repairing only to re-repair. I am like losing my mind halfway, but I'm getting there. I'm getting there. I'm gonna give you guys like this is nothing related, not art related at all. If you end up buying a computer, make sure it doesn't have Ubuntu on it, because that is the worst thing in the world to get rid of. Like, it is the hardest thing in the world to get rid of. Oh my goodness. It is so complicated. I don't even understand why they made that available for the average user. The average user is not going to know how to use that at all. In my opinion, you would need a whole class just to be able to understand how to even install a program in that, nevertheless use it. So yeah, it's been one of those. I've been kind of crazy. I've been kind of crazy with this whole computer thing, because Linux is not a language that I normally speak. I do know a little bit of it, but it's not a language that I normally speak. I haven't taken those classes since, oh my God, forever. Thank God I have the memory of an elephant and I don't forget anything, because that stuff came right back. And luckily I was able to find everything I needed to find and, you know, do what I had to do. But I'm just waiting for like a piece of equipment. Well, not a piece of equipment. Let me not say it like that. It sounds so high tech. I'm waiting for CDs, you guys. So I could burn a program that is too big for my regular CDs. So I'm waiting for that today. So hopefully I'll have my son's computer up and running by today. Because I'm like that. I'm like, I can't focus on things when I have other things like kind of pending. Like, and that was a task for me to do, and I couldn't focus on anything else. That's why my stencil release is a little bit late. I originally had planned to release this 3 days ago, actually. That was my original plan. But my son's computer arrived, and I thought everything was going to be gravy. And then when we turned it on, it was like, dang it, it's got Ubuntu. No. What happened, Tanya? Oh my God, I'm so stuck in my own story. You have iPhone? What, you did? Are you okay? Is the baby okay? Were you with the baby? Are you okay? Please tell me it was their fault and not yours, right? You need to take an Epsom salt bath so your whole body can feel better. All right, I think I'm gonna do, that's it for the collaging aspects to this page. I think I've added quite enough interest when it comes to this. What did I do with my little crunched up baby wipe? Is this it? I think so. Yes, feel better, my friend. What the hell? Whoa. Tanya, pero tú eres un milagro, mija, que Dios te bendiga. Oh my God. And for you guys that don't know what I said, God bless you. You're a miracle, because, oh my God. Wow. Bye, Cindy. So yeah, everything's already in the store, love, so you can go ahead and shop free. Yes. I think quite a few of them came out really nice, if you do ask me. All right. So what we're gonna do now. We're gonna do a little bit of stenciling, maybe. Yes, let's do some stenciling. He's gonna have to go somewhere in the center, which I'm kind of like debating, to be honest with you right now, because he is rather large. And I think that the only way I can actually fit him is if I put him in the center. But I'm going to be stenciling him in, not gluing him down with paper. So I'm hoping that it'll be okay. But his, his head has got a lot of texture to it. So let's go ahead and start pulling out some of these bubbles. Bubbles, bubbles, bubbles. Before I do that, I want to do something really quickly. And I'm going to just put him kind of there. And I'm going to spray. I'm going to spray where he's at. So that, I forgot about the I already got my finger blue. I'm gonna have a blue finger all day now. I'm gonna go ahead and use the eye zinc spray just to kind of get a rough idea of where he's gonna go. I'm gonna use the same paper just to kind of try that out. Look how cool that looks. That is like ready for jelly printing, right? And now that you can see it too much, but I can see it, but it's there. I'm gonna go ahead and dry that really quick so that I know where to put my bubbles, where not to put my bubbles. All these fun little layers. Alright, so let me grab my modeling paste and grab my bubble stencil. And we're gonna start going to town. We're gonna start going to town with these bubbles. Again, I'm gonna try to keep the any of the modeling paste stenciling away from that area there. Go with this. I don't need this anymore. Let's go ahead and grab some of this. This is modeling paste, yeah. I have to check because the modeling paste, the heavy gel, everything looks the same. It all looks the same. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. And we're just gonna add some bubbles to this whole thing. And I think I'm gonna use actually some of these textures. I can open it. Good morning, Monica. It is super hot. I'm gonna use this other texture paint here to finish this off. I don't know if I'm gonna like the way that's gonna look. So I'm just gonna go over it. I think we'll be able to see a little bit more of that texture. I'm gonna try to make it as super thin as I possibly can. Try to make this super thin. I don't want it to be too thick because then it takes forever to dry. So I'm trying to be leveled and at the same time have it all there. And let's go ahead and put this part right there. Oh no. She said she still have a sleep. I'm drinking coffee, but I am wide awake. I am wide awake and ready to run around the block a couple times. That's how much energy I have right now. So that's, remember, my goal here is to try to use up almost all of these stencils, but that's the goal, realistically speaking. Am I gonna be able to do that? I don't know, because you only have but so much room, but we're gonna try. All right. I like that. I like that. I like that. Go ahead and clean that whole edge off. And just get all that paste off of this, just so that I don't have those little bumpy bits behind my page after it's all dry. Let's see what else we can add. So we have our octopus there. Let's see. Maybe a little bit of this on the side here. Let's see how that looks. And this is organic 1. And we're just gonna see how it's gonna look. And it's gonna pick up some of that ink color because I did ink it up with Tim Holtz Distress ink, which is water soluble, so it's gonna pick up some of that color here and there. And we're just gonna see how this is all gonna look. I have no idea. Okay. So that's that. Let's go ahead and start drying this up. And then we'll see what else we can go ahead and add to it. We shall see. Yes. That'll be awesome. And my prices are super reasonable as well as the shipping. Super, super reasonable. I'm gonna have so much awesome like stuff just being added here and there. You guys will see little by little. It's starting to build. It's starting to build. I'm really, really excited and super proud of myself, to be honest with you, because I did this kind of like from 1 minute to the next. And there was so many like hurdles to jump over. Like there was just so much to like learn so fast, so much to do so quickly. But steadfast and moving forward, and everything is starting to work itself out. So I'm super happy. I'm just very eclectic with my patterns. That's the only thing that I don't necessarily follow a norm or a pattern in the sense of like trends and stuff like that. When I sit in front of my computer and I start designing, or when I'm working on a project and I need something and I stop what I'm doing to design something. That's kind of how that works, and that's how a lot of these things are made, is basically on impulse. Um, as I feel that I need them, or just as the thought comes into my mind, kind of. Sometimes I'll be cooking in the kitchen and like a whole pattern will emerge in my mind, and I'm like, wait a minute, I gotta go. And like I'll stop what I'm doing and either write it down or like try to free sketch it real quick and just have it there. So when I get on my computer, I can go ahead and start designing it and putting it together. So there's no real trends that I'm following in that aspect. Although I am trying to build collections, if you will. But I think mainly those collections are more like categories than they are more collections, to be honest with you. At least that's what they're starting to kind of form into. It's so hard to tell with this texture paste because it's still shiny even after it's dry. Like it's getting there. It's getting there. Okay. So let's see. Let's see what I want to do. Okay. Oh, do we want some cracked up in here? Do we? That would have been cool if I would have started this like on that level. But you know what? I probably do the crackling with maybe something else. So let's see. That's not all the way dry yet. Just so you guys know, that is not all the way dry yet. I'm trying to figure out how exactly it is that I'm gonna want to do this octopus guy, Mr. Sal the octopus. So how are we gonna do Mr. Sal the octopus? Maybe with some sprays like I did earlier, but maybe with something darker, maybe with some purple. Maybe with this glossy spray. This is the Dana Weekly and it's called Night. Oh no, wait. I wanted to do something. Hold on. I wanted to do something. So you guys know we were working with the jelly prints the other day, Sassoon, Vintage World and myself. And he made a statement about he thought that it was a stamping tool. And I kind of got stuck with that. So what I want to do today with my octopus, I'm going to stamp him into the paper, even though he's not a stamp. So I believe to achieve this, I'm going to lay down some paint here, thin it out, then stick my octopus on top of it. I don't know if the whole thing will fit, but I hope it will. It does just about fit in there. So I'm thinking that that's what I'm going to do. So we're going to try it and see if this is going to work. I'm going to get my little brayer here. Oops. Got my little mask there. Let me take a sip of coffee because I'm going to need it. So let's go ahead and get some black paint, right? But I'm not gonna go with the chalky paint for that. I'm gonna go with just regular basic black because I want him to really stand out. So I'm thinking that maybe with some black. So I'm just gonna add a little bit here. And not a little bit like Sassoon's little bit. Sassoon's little bit was like he was like dousing the thing up. I was like, oh geez, thank God this is like paint that I don't really care so much for, because if it would have been paint that I loved, we would have had a problem, my friend. We would have had a problem because he was just hunky-dory there pouring paint all over the place. But he had fun though. But he did tell me after the live, he's like, yeah, that's not my thing. Like, me, jelly printing, nope. We're not friends, and I don't think we will ever be. I'm gonna make this just a little bit thicker, just a little bit thicker. And then I'm gonna mist it. Hopefully that'll help it to stay a little bit wetter. And we're gonna try this. So let's see my mister. And I'm gonna pick this baby up, right? Whew. No, this way, right? No, this way, it's this way. I'll just stick them in there and see if it'll pick up some of that paint. I'm gonna test it on a piece of paper first, just to be sure. I don't want to mess up my page. So let me grab. The thing with this is you gotta work so fast. I'm just gonna do it right on this one. You gotta work so quickly because this paint dries up like over fast. Is that gonna work? Or am I gonna have more fun by just putting the other paint down? Nope, that didn't work. So I'm thinking this might work though. So this is what we're gonna do. I am going to clean up a lot of this extra around here. I'm gonna splotch it up, but I'm not gonna touch the pattern. Hopefully that comes out. And wish me well, you guys, because I'm a risky mother. Shut your mouth. So, oh my God, here goes everything and here goes nothing all at once. So let's see. Let's see what happens. Oh my goodness, Carmen, what did you do? Please, baby, work for me. I already got white paint on my thing, so I know I sabotaged something up there, but oh well. America. No, it didn't come out. It didn't come out. Oh, okay. Well, at least I got some black background, so now we can maybe do something else. I guess we'll just have to wing it, right? At least I have some dark edging back there, so maybe now he'll stand out a little bit more. Either way. So let's go in with maybe a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And let me just go ahead and clean this. Well, let me use my other one that's dry. I saw that a number on this braid, let me tell you. Okay. Let's see, you guys. Let's see. It's time to get creative out here. So this is what we're going to do. We're just going to start kind of adding colors here and there. So I'm just going to add a whole bunch of different little colors here and there. Purples and pinks. Oh my. And greens, because I love me some green. And it's about having fun and experimenting. And if you cannot experiment in your own art journal, then what is the point of having one? I do want to create a stencil that is hollowed in the inside, but that's going to take me a little bit of time because there's just so many little bits to connect. You end up having to add so many different little things. Some lime green, maybe. Ooh, I added a lot of lime green. Might as well use up some of that, right? Maybe he's ascending. Maybe he's coming up. He's gonna go catch himself a ship. He say, "Hey, you, where you going? Come back over here. You're mine now." Aw, thank you. Thank you, Ganja. That's so sweet of you. You can't keep it real, then you can't keep it at all. I don't know. That's just me. That's just how I flow. All right. So I like this. I like this. Oh my goodness, you guys, the piece de la resistance. Viva la crafts. Okay. Maybe one more color. Maybe one more color. I don't know. I don't know. The line between perfection and what the heck happened is so close. It's just, I'm going to add some yellow. Lord help me. Please. Let's see what happens. Don't move, though. Don't move, buddy. Stay right there. I can't have you moving. And I am going to add some spray over all this because why not? I kind of like that already. I think it's going to come out super cool. I don't know. It's just a feeling that I have. Let's see. Let me spray a little bit of white on there. And half spritz, half no spritz. Half spritz, half no spritz. A little bit of cheddar. Oh, well, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. That's always a good thing. Very much appreciated. A little bit of yellow, right? Carmen, do not spray your machines. Please, girl, please. Let's not do that. Okay, in this area here, ooh, how am I do this? Okay. How am I do this? How am I do this? Oh, I want to add some glitter to his brain. I want it to shine and sparkle like mine. So I want to add some glitter to his brain. Let's see. Let's see if we can make it light in there amidst all that darkness. Let's see. Let's see. So I have here some galaxy glitter, and I'm going to use purple eclipse. And I'm just going to kind of spatula it on there. I'm going to spatula it on there if I can find my spatula. Well, I found another one. 15 tools to do one job, you guys. 15 tools to do one job. So I'm going to kind of like spatula that in there. Right? Okay. Let's get some silver so it could actually show. So we'll see. A little bit of silver, so just to give it that little spark. Give it that little spark. I added a little too much, but you can never go wrong. You can never go wrong with some glitter. Okay. Oh my God, you guys, I'm so nervous. I'm so nervous. You can't see him. Too much going on. So let me dry this and go back into it. I need to fix that edge up a little bit more. I kind of got it, but I don't got it just yet. So we're gonna get it. We're gonna get it. I gotta clean that stencil. We're gonna get it. I have another one though. I gotta back up. Yeah, it'll come together. Oh, you like the Lula and Cosmo? Yeah, that's one of my favorites as well. That store developed out of a need and a want for chipboard shapes and different stencils. And I figured if I'm in that boat, I know many of us are in that boat. And I wanted to keep it affordable because at the end of the day, I've been in plenty of situations where I wanted something, couldn't get it. So I wanted to make sure everybody could get what they wanted. I know all too well what that is, my friend. Okay. Still a little wet. So let me grab this and pick up some of that excess, whatever's in there. And I'm gonna dry this again because it's still very wet. We still have a little bit of something to do. I think my next approach is going to be maybe ink. We'll see. Trying to get this thing to come out. It came out so cool when I did my demo, okay? Because I did demo it before I decided to put it in the store and use it. And you can see it. That's just with the blending brush and ink and just regular ink pads. And the whole pattern came out. And here today is giving me a problem. Stubborn little Sal. Maybe because I named him Sal for salty. Maybe that's why. But hey, he lives in the deep, right? Like, come on now. I'm bringing you to the surface. Be happy. Oh, yes. Yes. I've been looking at some of my pieces as well and looking at them like, wouldn't you look nice on a lampshade? Wouldn't you look nice on a lampshade? Or on an altered bottle or box? I think you will look super cool, my friend, in that way. Okay. So, what am I going to do? Maybe with white as opposed to, let me grab my other octopus. I'm so happy that I cut out two. It's like I knew, Carmen, you have to be ready, my friend. You have to be ready because you don't know what's going to happen here. All right. So what am I going to do? How am I gonna get this together? I feel like Pinky and the Brain right now. Pinky and the Brain, because I see his big old head. What we gonna do? What we gonna do? I am debating with myself what I'm gonna do and how I'm gonna fix this dude right here. So I think white paint, maybe white paint, maybe black paint. I don't know. I'm gonna go with some black paint and see what happens. I'm gonna go with some black paint and just kind of see what happens, and then I'll add the color back into it as I see fit. And I'm gonna sponge it in to see if I can have a little bit more control. And I'm just using a basic makeup applicator. And I think I'm gonna try to go around the edges with white while the stencil's still in there, so that maybe hopefully the inside will pop out more, right? And I'll get some kind of an outline at the same time. I am when I do sell these, I'm gonna sell it to you guys with the frame, you know, so it's gonna come with the whole piece, because I know that maybe you might want to color that part first and like kind of lay that mask down first and spray inside of that. The only reason why I don't use it on mine right now is because it's too big, honestly. I put them both on one sheet, so it's like humongous. And I don't have like a nice, you know, margin for the border. But when I do the next ones, I'm gonna make sure that I create that that nice little box, so that you guys will get the stencil and the backing along with everything that comes in it. So if you don't want your little bits and pieces for masking purposes, then just let me know. I'll take them out. It's not a big deal. I know some people do like the pieces. Not everybody does. It's not that I'm trying to be lazy. I don't have no problem doing it. But I know I personally sometimes like to have be able to fill in some of the blanks, and I know not all stencils provide that for you. So I wanted to leave that as an option on mine, because I know I personally use that, and I know I can benefit from having that there. So yes, please do. Please do. I would love to see it. That's one of the things that makes me the happiest, is when you guys share, even if it's not with like my stuff, just like when I get to see your projects and stuff like that, especially like if you don't do videos and you're very exclusive. That to me is just like, oh my God, I can't believe you share with me. I love that. I love that. Because we all start at the same place, you guys. We all do. We all start at the same place. Oh my goodness, time flies. It's 11:06 already. So let's see. I'm going to go in with this, and then I'm going to go in with a lighter color around some of the edges just to kind of make it pop. And then I'll do some detail work with like some of the little circles and stuff like that, and just really start bringing Sal to life. Maybe he won't be so salty after I fix him up. Oh man. Oh, Sal. Poor Sal. Let's see. So I'm gonna do that. And I want him to look like really different, even though I don't know what all species of octopus look like, but I want him to look like really strange. And I figured, I was like, oh, his whole head is like see-through, right? Because a lot of octopuses, they're like see-through. So I'm like, maybe I'll just hollow out his head a little bit and see how that kind of looks. Okay, so I think I pretty much have him very well covered up. So to this, and I wish that I could dry it, but I did that once with the grotto. I left the grotto on the paper, and I started heat drying around it. That grotto curled up. The whole side went whoop. I was like, oh no, bad idea. Do not heat the stencils. I started putting that in all the memos. Do not apply heat. Like most people have common sense and wouldn't do that, but I don't know what happened to mine that day. That thing went right out the window. All right, so let me grab another sponge so I can use another color. Because again, oh, you know what? I have here some waxes that I haven't actually played with that I wanted to play with. I pulled them out. I have and these are the Prima ones, the Art Alchemy or Finnabair, whatever it is. Um, I don't know if they're one company or not, you guys. I'm fairly new to the whole Finnabair Prima thing. So I'm starting to like learn about that now. So this is Firebird. I'm gonna use some Firebird in his noggin. Let's get some Firebird in there. I must say I really do like the wax. I'm not too particular about the smell. I do think that they stink, but I do love the product. Um, the how the smoothness of applying it. But if you check out my hack on how I fixed the regular waxes that you would get, the ones that come in jars like this, then you're golden because I figured out a way to fix this. So if you haven't seen that video, definitely check that out because it does work. It does work, right? So we're gonna do that. Just kind of add a little bit here and there. And we're gonna make this baby come out somehow. She gonna come out somehow because mama don't play those games, right? So we're gonna get you to come out. We're gonna get you to come out, right? So don't be shy, Sal. Don't be shy. You need to emerge. Okay, so I think that's good for that. And let's go ahead. And that was Firebird that I used, if I didn't say the color. Ooh, like look at this yumminess. Anything to do with metallic waxes or anything like that, I love. Okay, let me see. I didn't see. May I ask how durable they are if they're taken care of properly? Of which the waxes? Well, these, from what I hear, they never dry. I've only had it for a couple weeks, so they're still awesome. So I hear that these never dry. I haven't put that to the test yet. I haven't had them for that length of time. Now, my other ones, my deco art ones, the metallic lusters, I've had those for years, literally for years, and I've used those as watercolors. I've used those as everything. And those dry out really, really fast. I'm not gonna lie to you. Those dry out like super, super fast. I don't know if it's the container or if it's just the product itself. Maybe because it's got so much acrylic in it. I really have no idea, to be honest with you. But it does dry out really fast. And I was able to find a way of reconstituting it with a little bit of elbow work, but able to reconstitute it and basically make it brand new so you don't lose out on nothing. Um, so if you haven't seen that, definitely check that out. And it's like the most simplest thing. It's like the most simplest thing. So now I'm gonna kind of go around here and add some color back into this all around the edges. I was gonna go with the black, but I want to go with this blue because I already have black under there. So hopefully it's dark enough that with me adding this blue in there, it'll all just pop. And I'm super scared to lift this because I've already been disappointed once with Sal. But hopefully it'll work. Hopefully it'll work. I do love the wax. I love the color. I love these products. I'm not gonna lie. I would not buy something just because of the smell alone. Honestly, well ventilated areas, then you'll be good to go. And it does have a slight little smell to it, but for how much you're using and how long you're gonna have it open, at least in this case, you'll be fine. Just don't go sniffing the jar. Don't sniff the jar, you guys. Don't do that. You might get lightheaded if you do that. Oh my goodness. I'm so like loving this right now. This is so therapeutic. This is so relaxing. This is so like just like I love it. Love it, love it. Right? Oh my god, like I want to lift it so bad. The stencils, they last. As long as you soak them and clean them, you'll have them forever. You just don't go ripping them up, like don't go putting sharp stuff to clean them, like don't grab a blade to to take the texture off of it that's dry. Like don't do that because you're gonna end up cutting into it. The plastic for my stencils, the stencil that I use is pretty thick, so you're gonna get a nice sturdy stencil. It's pretty thick, you know. I could rub my finger over it and not lift up all the little bits and pieces. So it's pretty thick, yo. If you soak them in like warm water with a little bit of soap, you will get a nice, you know, prolonged use of it. That's for sure. I'm so scared to like open this up, you guys. I really am. I really, really am. I'm scared to lift Sal. Sal, do not disappoint me, Sal. Le piste de resistance. Viva le crabs. Hey, Sal. Nice to meet you, Sal. There you are. I see him. I see him. I see him. I'm going to highlight him now. So we need to see you better, Sal. Sal, we need to see you better. So I'm going to grab myself a fine little point of a brush. And I see Sal now. So what I'm going to do, I think, I'm going to put him right over. Right? And I think I'm just going to kind of use this as a mask and kind of go over it with some white, right? And we're going to kind of highlight him that way, right? I think. So let's see if this will work for me. And I'm going to use that same texture paint just to kind of add a little bit of a highlight around me. Doesn't have to be perfect. Just, you know, that he'll kind of emerge more. And I'm going to say that he's all frothy and foamy from kind of going up and down and creating bubbles. Of course. Listen, you only mess yourself up when you go the other route. You don't mess anybody else up but yourself. At least that's what I believe. Because everything that goes around comes right back around. And my name is Carmen, okay? Not karma. So, like, yeah, I don't like to play with karma. It does come back at you. And from what we've seen in this short period of time, you can go from hot to not in a second, right? I'm gonna paint those whites in there. I'm just gonna add that in. And I'm using a texture paint by Deco Art, so it's not like traditional acrylic. It's a very heavy body kind of paint, and it does dry glossy. So we're just gonna do that, and then I'll finish adding the little details of which arms go where once I'm done. And I don't think I'm gonna do much to those bubbles. I kind of like them the way they are, to be honest with you. I think they add something to the page. So we'll see how else I incorporate some of those other stencils maybe. We'll see. This is just again for highlighting purposes, just so that you guys see where Sal is. Because Sal is a trickster. He likes to blend. Yes, thank you, thank you. That's awesome. Right, you can start to see him coming out more once you start adding some of the little highlighted areas. And that's basically what it's about. It's finding more than one way to use something. Like I used a bubble stencil and another my stretch link, and I made a whole tree out of that. So like if you could do something like that on a, like, you know, on the flash, like you're good to go. Just let your imagination run wild, and just remember you can use things in more than one ways. Just because the instructions say use this way doesn't mean you always have to use it that way. Just experiment little by little. You'll see. You will see. So it's just about making him pop out a little bit so that I can see all that yumminess is happening under. So definitely I would say, depending on how you want to use them, you're gonna maybe add him in layers or work with him in layers, adding one layer then another layer, and I think that you'll get a nicer result and more in depth as well. With more depth, I should say, with more depth as well. And depending on your background, if your background is light, then use a dark. If your background is dark, then use a light. And that's how you kind of make it stand out a little bit. And my brush is getting really saturated with paint, so it's starting to kind of go all over the place. And I buy these little detail brushes on Amazon by the pack of 30 for like 10 bucks. Art has no boundaries. Yes, you are right about that. It has no boundaries at all. It is literally limitless. That is how everything that we use today and consume today somehow, some way came to be. Because there is no limits to the imagination. And I know for a fact God had to have a lot of imagination when he made us. So there is no limits to the imagination. You just have to allow yourself to kind of be. Allow yourself to kind of do. Because you're the only one that can limit yourself at the end of the day. Okay, are we ready? Are we ready? I don't know if we're ready. But we're gonna get up and we're gonna go. And OMGE, I love how Sal came out. OMGE, I love how Sal came out. Yes, yes, yes. I love it, love it, love it. Yes, yes, yes. So now to this, I'm gonna go ahead and add a little bit more, bring down these lines just a little bit more, right? Because we have Sal the octopus, and he is not having none of it today. He's like, nope, I will catch you. Today is the day. So we're just gonna do that and just add him in there. And I love it. I love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Right? Awesome, awesome. Listen, Tim Holtz and his borders, when it comes to this whole mat, it's supposed to create a border. It does not create a border for me, Tim. It does not. I still put stuff everywhere. It don't matter. Don't matter how much surface I have. So I'm gonna just wet this and kind of like wet my brush a little bit. Just because it was kind of stiff and I needed to have some mobility. And where is the white spray? I just had it. Where are you, Dina Wakely? There you go. I'm just gonna spray that real quickly. Just kind of do this and mix that in with a little bit of that paint right there. Trying to thin it out. Now they're very different kind of mediums. So again, I do a lot of experimenting here. That is how a lot of the things that I create just kind of happen to be. It's through experimentation. I love how funkadelic the eyes kind of look. So I think I'm gonna add a little bit more of that green to those eyes. I really love the funkadelicness of the eyes. So we're gonna add a little bit more of that green to kind of make it all uniform somehow. And it makes perfect sense for an octopus, right? To have kind of like greenish eyes, right? It makes perfect sense. Oh, it's okay. Oh, you're very welcome. And you know, you can catch me like every other day or so. That's usually when I come on, like every other day to every 2 days I come on. Thank you, thank you. It was fun having you here. And it's a beautiful day today. Hopefully where you are is beautiful as well. I'm just gonna add like yellow in there and just add a little bit of yellow here and there, right? Just kind of making the whole thing kind of come together now. Just adding a little bit of yellow. Um, Finalizing my shape somewhat. What time is it? 24. Okay. We're almost done with this page, my friends. We're almost done. Just adding a little bit more. Kind of like highlights here and there. And again, this is your art journal. You can do with it what you wish. You can use any colors that you want. The only limit is your imagination, right? And have fun. If you're not having fun, don't do it. Life is too short. Let's add more of that green, right? I really like the green on this. Uh, and I'm just gonna kind of use these colors to kind of outline it, even though I did kind of go over with the white. I'm just gonna kind of very sketchy like, just kind of add some of these colors back in. Um, Very sketchy like, nothing too perfect, just to give some definition of where Sal is and what Sal is doing, which right now he is glowing. Thank you, my friend. Oh my goodness. Well, no problems. The shop's not going anywhere. Let me knock on wood. We'll be here for a little bit. We'll be here for a little bit, God willing. Okay. Now these little dots that I have going on here, I think for these little dots, I want to go in with white. And this is gloss enamel. Let me shake it. Shake the gloss enamel, Carmen. Shake the paint. There you go. And I'm gonna go in and add. So I want to add a little dot in the center. Maybe. Maybe. I want to. Nah, I don't. I don't actually. I don't. I don't want to add the little dot in the center. Nope. Okay, so let's clean that up because I'm not gonna use that. I don't think. What else do we want to do? Let me just kind of. I don't want to cover up too much of the bubbles. I like the white. I'm loving this green on this page. I don't know what, but it does so much for me. Um, and normally lime green is not something that I would normally go for, or the sour apple green, or whatever you want to call it. What is this color called? Sour apple, yeah. But on this page and with this octopus, it's giving me life. So, hmm, 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 hmm. I feel like Sal needs something, but let's try up South first, and then we'll see what we need. Where's Pinto? Pinto, I have to make Pinto into a stencil. I haven't done that yet. I'm so irresponsible. I haven't done that yet. He's probably gonna be coming out next month, along with Cosmo as well. So Cosmo and Pinto are gonna be the two sea themed characters that I'm gonna come out with next month, which is only a couple days away. I'll start working on it this week and get them, you know, primed and ready to go. I want to make sure that he looks like what he's supposed to look like after I've turned them into a stencil, because I don't know. And then this guy right here, I'm gonna work on seeing if I can turn him into, you know, do it the other way, the inverted way, where the areas is hollowed out is him, and then, you know, you can do it the other way. So we'll see. We'll see how that kind of all turns out. We'll put this back in. I'll put this back in. Right there. Right there. So I want to add more of that wax. I want to darken it up in some areas. Dang it. Precious wax. Do not go everywhere, precious wax. Because in art journaling and in most art, it's about the layering, right? So the more layers you have, the better it is. And the more things you can see through every layer. And this wax is like butter, you guys. I know why people love it so much. It's like butter. And then let's go back in with a little bit more of this fire color here. Do I even have a finger that I can use? Let me just darken that up a little bit. Should I add red into him? Like red wax? Kind of like how I did with the fire. Let me see. Maybe some purple. Maybe some purple. And these are my reconstituted waxes. The ones that I reconstituted. So let's see. See? After I reconstituted it. Butter too. It's butter too. Let's add, right? Because gold and purples look nice sometimes, right? So for anybody that was wondering how the waxes kind of came out, as you can see, I can just put my finger in there and use it up. Before it was a brick, now it's not. Yeah. Yeah. Which is awesome because now I can use both. Like, hello. Who wouldn't want to use both? I do. I want to use both. Okay. So I think that's good. I need my blending tool. This is a blending brush. It's a dome brush. And I'm going to use it to kind of get into some of these nooks and crannies so that I can make them stand out a little bit more. Because I want him to be funkadelic and holographic kind of. And I don't think I can achieve that holographicness that I'm looking for unless I go back in and kind of redefine some of these areas here. So we're gonna do that. And what's awesome is that this wax spreads so nicely now that I can just pick it up so easily. And we shall see what this is all gonna look like. And then once I'm done with this, I'll add my little sentiments, and I think I am finito, my friends. I'm really excited. I hope you guys go and check out the store. I think I have the wish list activated. If not, I gotta check because I did have a little bit of a downtime with my site because of a plugin and a database that was updating, and it just kind of made the whole thing go crazy. A lot of you guys know I do a lot of my own. When it comes to computers, I do a lot of my own stuff because I'm somewhat computer savvy to a certain extent. And I'm very good with instructions. So I'm one of those that if I can read it and I can understand it, I can basically do it. Um, so I do a lot of my own updating, and unfortunately, I did too many updates at the same time, and I kind of made my database go crazy. But I fixed it. And literally, I fixed it. Okay, I called GoDaddy. Quick little story, you guys, while I'm doing this. I called GoDaddy, right? GoDaddy, right? That's what it is. Yeah. I called GoDaddy, and I'm like, listen, I don't know what's going on. My thing kind of went crazy, right? When I put the thing to update. So, if many of you guys have ever had a WordPress site or have created a WordPress site, then that WordPress site is pretty automatic for the most part. But there are ways that you kind of can do things, on your own. Uploading the stuff on your own, using like another software that allows you to kind of hook up to their server and do all this stuff. Anyways, I don't want to get too nerdy on you guys. But so I called them, right? And I'm like, listen, my website is down. It said I put it to update the plugins and it just kind of like got stuck. So can you just like reboot the backup that you guys are supposed to have? So she comes back and she's like, okay, we did that. They got the website up and going, but then everything, like all my stuff was gone. And she's like, oh, it's your theme. It's your theme. You have a theme that's which is the theme that I have on my site now. Okay, mind you, it's still there for a reason. She's like, oh, it's your theme. It's your theme. That's causing the glitch. And I'm like, okay, maybe that can be because sometimes the themes get out of as one part of the site updates, the other side stays stagnant, and sometimes that coding can crash with each other. So I can understand that. So I'm like, okay, give me my information so that I can go and like fix it myself. Because she's here doing 101 things and she couldn't fix it. She couldn't fix it. I got into it through FileZilla, which is a software that I use to tap into the server. I got into it through that and I fixed it like this. Like literally in 2 seconds, I was like, this girl's crazy. I should be working for GoDaddy. I fixed it so fast. I was like, oh my God. I put everything back in. Like all my stuff was there. Nothing was gone. She was telling me literally that I had to like delete this and delete that. And she was telling me to delete a whole bunch of stuff. I didn't have to delete anything that she told me to delete. Tragedy averted, right? But yeah, that's the stuff that I go through. And now it's just like, oh my goodness. I just try to fix the stuff myself. I don't even bother going to them because what's the point? And so I know I'm just adding. I have to add the yellow into it, which is the one part that I didn't do. It looks like that now, but once I lift it up, you're not gonna see all this brightness that you see. You're only gonna see little specks because this is more of a mask than it is a stencil. But yeah, those are the crazy adventures in computer land that I deal with. And I like my things to look bright and colorful. You guys know I'm known for that. Adding every single color in the world into everything. Okay, so I think that's pretty good. I just want to make sure that I have that in. I'm gonna have to spritz this down and activate all this color and get a couple prints off of this afterwards because this is gonna be yumminess. Okay, let's see. Just when I think I'm done, I find another area that doesn't have no None of that in there. See? Not too bad. It looks really bold because what you're looking at is the stencil. But once you lift it up, you have all of that black and you just have like the little dots here and there, a little bit of that funkadelic color kind of showing through. So yeah, no worries, no worries, no worries, no worries. We're good, we're good. Let's see. This green on the thing, I don't really like that green too much on that thing there, but it's cool, it's cool. So I think I'm gonna kind of leave it like that for the most part. Like I said, I don't really like this part of it here. So I'm gonna kind of take that off, or at least try to, you know, give it back some of its color. Very haphazardly as well. I'm not gonna go too precise with this. I just want it to have more black than it does green. I don't mind the green being there. I just don't want it to take over the whole tentacle. So just adding a little bit back in. And you guys know I'm a colorful soul. I love me some color. Okay, that's a little bit better. That was just a little bit too green for me. I was like, what the heck? But I like that. I like that. I like that a lot. And I put little openings at the end of each tentacle. Because I figured if you wanted to stick like a little makeshift brush there, or you wanted to stick something in those little holes, you could. I'm just gonna paint that, and then we're good to go. We are good to go. Yay! Finally. And you guys know I'm gonna be playing with this page like all day, right? So I'll probably give you a few updates from here to there. By the time that I'm finished done playing with it, I just don't want to hold you guys up too long because it is Saturday morning and people got stuff to do. Okay. So with that being said, I want to thank you all so very much for joining me this Saturday morning for a little bit of an art journaling session, as well as for the premiere of the June stencils. Please go and check it out. You will find some Sal, you will find Cracked Up, Organic 1, Organic 2. We have Triumphant Pyramid. We have a whole bunch of cute little stencils for you guys to use and check out. Also, your chipboard journals are available, as well as the chipboard journal refills. So make sure you can check that out as well. And a whole bunch of different chipboard designs and more chipboard designs to come. So go and check them out. I will catch you guys on the next one. Thank you all so much for being here, and have an awesome weekend. Bye.